And I see this a lot with doctors that, they're so caring and loving and there for patients, but then they have so much guilt that they're not there enough for their families. It's like, well, who are we really working for? We're actually working our kids, our CEOs, I think. Like, we're there for them. We're here to nurture these young people to become amazing humans. So how can we do that if we're not present enough, and that we have guilt that we're not present enough, and we're very present for our patients? It's like, we can be present for everyone, but we don't have to give all our energy to everyone. We can retain some for ourselves, because we can't function if we don't have energy.
That's right.
So for those who are in the being overcared, how do they know that they're in a situation where their power is being trampled on, or that they're giving their power away? So often it comes in the form of criticism from the other person. Why did you do it like that? Why did you do that why did you buy that? Why are you wearing that? So it's that other person disagreeing with my choices, and they're trying to control me by casting doubt on my decisions or my choices, and telling me, I would prefer if you did it my way. So that's a sign of being overcared. Again, they're trying to be helpful. It's their way of showing caring, but it's too much, because it's like not allowing me to have my experience. It's really negating the choices that I make that I think are important to me.
That's right. And you start to, and it can cause you to start to doubt your own decisions and your own, yourself. You start trusting yourself. And again, we're not going to go into it today, but trust is a massive, and self-trust is a massive, massive area. So I think that, it's interesting, because I've always, and I wrote something about it last year, about self-knowledge is the key to life success in work, relationships, and health. And I think that a lot of this and what we've talked about really comes back to that, because in order to be able to be aware of what we're doing, whether we're the person who's in the control position or whether we're in the person that's more the passive position, we need to be self-aware. We need to stop, we need to reflect, we need to pause, and almost in some ways eavesdrop on ourselves to be able to notice our behaviors and our patterns. So, this whole ability of self-awareness really is so important. And, and it's a huge, huge area. And so is the self-trust and other areas of self-knowledge, which we, obviously not going to go into today. But yeah, so if self-awareness is one of those areas which have a massive impact, what sort of practices or tools would you suggest that people can start to do to become more self-aware? In particular in these sort of situations?
Yeah, so it's again about bringing more pause into your life, pause and silence into your life, embracing space and making room for space instead of always filling it with words and I need to have an answer and our worries and our assumptions. So if you're being asked to be in a caring position, or you're in a caring position and someone shares a problem, then you just breathe. You need to breathe, take a big breath in and take a big breath out to give yourself that space to digest what you've just received. And then remember, what's my role here? And you might go, what am I meant to do here? If it's a friend, what do you want me to do here? You can ask questions, be curious.
Yep.
And then also, and that's just in the moment, and be aware of the tendency to want to jump in and solve problems, remembering that I am not the hero in anyone's life. I'm not here to swoop in and rescue them, unless it's a life and death emergency. There's situations where you've got to be the hero. That's fine.
Yeah.
But in general, every day I'm having a problem, help me with this, or I need help with this. You just have to pause and go, what's my role here? And what do they need? What's the thing that will help this situation? And I'm not the hero. And so noticing if you're about to give advice, or if advice just leaped out of your mouth, you can retract it. You could say, I just realized I offered something, I gave you an idea or an advice without actually knowing enough detail about what's going on for you. So can we spend some time so that I can understand what's really happening for you? So it's like that, asking questions, being curious, be interested. And that's in the moment. For self-awareness, to build it, again, it's a work in progress, and you need to bring in reflection. Definitely. If you're closing your eyes at night and you're seeing people there, then you need to go, okay, what's this about? what am I seeing this person? Why am I hearing this thought? Why am I going back to a situation that occurred today? So you need to reflect, what is this about for me? We need to start asking these questions of ourselves. What's the emotion that wants to be heard that it hasn't been yet? Because we hold on all day. We go through our days being well behaved, following rules, doing what's expected, and we need to have a tantrum sometimes because we're holding on. We need to let it out.
Yeah.
And it will come out, and it'll come out at the most inconvenient time that you'll be with, a supervisor, and then they'll say something which is totally not personal, and we'll take it personally and we'll start crying. And, it's just because we've been holding on and we haven't acknowledged the toll that our life takes on us. So we're in this situation too. As a carer, we're not totally, what's the word?
I won't rescue you.
Yeah. We have problems too.
Yeah.
And we need to acknowledge that we also need help. And so we need to reflect on our day, reflect on a situation, a conversation, a consult. How did I go with that? What could I have done differently?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, just to sum that up in what you've said, it's kind of like inquiry is one of the things that needs to happen all round. So it's self-inquiry with the reflective practices, and then it's inquiry and curiosity in when you inquire and ask the other person lots of questions to understand the circumstance or the situation.
Yeah, because when we inquire, then it tells us, I don't know anything and I'm open to learning something new. And you're telling that to the other person, because we don't grow when we just assume we have the answers for everything.
Yeah.
We have to start assuming we know nothing. Even if we have a crap load of knowledge from our education, that situation is unique. So we know nothing about it except what we're told. And then we have to start asking. We have to be curious and interested in what else might be going on. So we have to do that with ourselves too. And meditation is an amazing way to develop self-awareness, because again, we're putting ourselves in a place of stillness, away from distraction, and we can start to notice the thoughts that come up. We can start interrogating ourselves, using really good questioning techniques about, how else can I create opportunities for learning and excitement in my life? How else can I be of service to people that also is in service to myself, helps me learn, helps me feel joyful instead of drained? By starting to ask these questions, our consciousness, our mind starts to notice new things or different patterns that bring us towards an answer. But if we never ask questions, we don't get any new information. We don't get those answers. So, meditation, great way to contemplate something.
Well, I'm so glad. Sorry to cut you off there, Nat, because I'm so glad that you. I'm just aware of the time, and I know that you and I can just chat forever, and this could go for another hour, and we could explore so many conversations. But unfortunately, we're going to have to sort of bring it to a close. And I'm so glad that you mentioned meditation, because I wanted to share with the audience that you've just done this amazing meditation series for the month of January, where you did a 10-minute or 10 to 15-minute meditation on a variety of different life themes, and some of them are things that we talked about today even, every single day through the month of January. And it's a whole series that I know that you're going to offer for in a number, I don't know, different packages, or how you're going to put it out, but maybe just in a couple of minutes or a minute or so, because we've got to kind of wind up, if you can let people know what is this meditation, and how can they maybe be able to access it, because it's brilliant. I've listened to a lot of them and there's just so much gold in them.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's about 10 to 20 minutes, a variety of themes, and there's corresponding teachings or my thoughts around each one, as well as how to put these things into practice. And reflective questions. So asking you to think about that theme in your life and how you already deal with it. And so it's an automatic program. You can, you sign up, and you receive an email a day with a copy of the recording, and you can listen to it as much as you want. You might go, I need a lot of help on my approval addiction, so I'm going to listen to this thing every day, and it'll become my new practice, and see what happens with my need to have my needs met by other people. And the other thing that I'm offering is a Facebook group, a subscription Facebook group, where we cover a different theme every week, and there'll be one live meditation. on that theme that week. And basically, you nominate a relationship you want to transform in your life that week. And it's not about you trying to change them. It's about you deciding you want change. And it's up to you to take responsibility to create that change within yourself, which will have an effect on the dynamic in that relationship. So it's just a way that we can all develop greater peace and understanding within ourselves and other people. And the more people who can do that, maybe our experience of the world will be also more peaceful.
That sounds amazing.
Negative. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So what I'll do is I'll put all the details of that Facebook group and how that they can join, or your details of the website, which I think are on there anyway, as well as on your website. Is there a link, or is there a place where there's a link to be able to receive these daily meditations?
Yes. Yep.
And so maybe just after, I'll put on the show notes, and so people can access them that way.
Perfect.
Yeah. So just to, firstly, thank you so much for this conversation. It's been awesome, and yeah, I hope people have, resonated with some or all or part of what we've been saying, and can apply it to themselves or their own situations in their life. And, obviously within an hour, which we were going to do half an hour, but that obviously, well, there's no way that was going to happen. That was a good intention. There's so many other things that we can talk about, and maybe, from this, I might put together, Nat and I might talk about it, and we'll share some content about some of the themes that have come up today, and some of those more actionable processes that you can implement within your life, so that you might be able to do things a little bit differently going forward.
Totally. Thank you so much for this chat, Lisa.
Is there you're welcome. Thank you. Is there anything that you like, a favorite quote, or anything that any mantra or anything that you have that you want to leave off with today?
Give less shit for inner peace. And one of my favorite quotes from Einstein: you can't solve a problem using the same thinking that created it.
Yeah, definitely a true one from a man of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nathalie, and thank you everyone who's tuned in live today, as well as those that have listened to the recording. I'm so excited to continue these conversations with a variety of wellness professionals, ranging from people that are into, use creativity as a form of wellness, to people that are more into spiritual, physical, nutrition, movement, career, environmental, social, just really looking at the whole wellness model and the whole life model of how it can really impact us to be able to live a connected, wealthy life. So thank you, and I look forward to speaking to you again in 2 weeks. Okay, have a great day. Bye.